Good afternoon, good evening, and good morning, and welcome to a rather unusual live stream because it's not Friday, and this time it's not the world. In this particular instance, it's the UK has gone insane, and we're here to talk about it. Joining me, I have an under the weather Zam, Gaz,
Hello.
and Alexia,
Hello.
and we're here to talk about all the crap that's transpired in pretty much the last week in the UK. Now we missed the Friday podcast because you know c'est
Burnt
la
out.
vie. But we thought, okay, we're not going to wait until we couldn't wait anymore till Friday. Although I'm under the weather as well, we need to talk about this because it's just one of those things where too much has happened, where you just can't let it go till Friday. So we're here to talk about it today. So unless you've been living under a rock, there have been many riots across the UK by the far right, by the racist, xenophobic, bigoted, violent thugs that have absolutely no trail of thought of their own. And their version of taking our country back is to loot and smash up the country, brick people's houses at random that aren't even foreigners, attack people at random that have nothing to do with anything, attack police. Well, last week they were praising them for putting a boot into a Muslim guy's head at Manchester Airport, and yet they've hospitalized more police. And so you don't really care about taking your country back. You're just pissed off. You're too dumb to realize why you're pissed off, and you're just blaming the foreigners because that's what the Daily Mail and Nigel Farage and even the fucking Labour government, i.e. Keir Starmer and Bangladeshis, and Keir Starmer siding with a lot of policies with the Tories on immigration, and of course the media are all to blame. They've helped fuel this violence that's been happening across the country. And before I ramble on any further, Zam, your thoughts, and then we'll just go around the board.
I
Hey, Roland.
actually
Hey, Rick.
being a Londoner, I was really oblivious to what was happening around the country because living in this city, a very multicultural city, even the white people in themselves are multicultural in various ways. Would they be? When I say white people, I mean from two different aspects. They could be British and white, but they like the multiculturalism, or they could be from other parts of Europe. It's such a vibe in this city that it makes no sense for these far right fuckers to come here and to cause shit because it wouldn't fly in London. It absolutely wouldn't. If anything, the only time that they've got any balls is when they all come from fucking Canvey Island and fucking Clacton and shit on a weekend to fucking protest and sing Tommy Robinson's name as he's fucking laying in a beach drinking a fucking sangria while these cunts get arrested. So I was totally oblivious to what was happening to the rest of the country. But when I was seeing it, I was starting to worry. I even rang up my brother who lives in Derby. I was concerned about him, seeing they're doing ethnic checkpoints in fucking Middlesbrough. Absolutely ridiculous. Just to see if you're fucking brown or not, or whatever, And then if you are, then what? You're going to get the shit beaten out of you? Like, it makes no sense. They're so... And I'm sorry, I'm going on all different directions here, but... Whatever happened, those three girls who got killed last week was the reason why all of this shit kicked off by a young black guy who happened to be Christian, not even fucking Muslim. But he's black, so that's Muslim enough. And then all these alt-right motherfuckers went on a fucking rage tearing spree, looting shops and everything. They didn't do fuck all when Lucy Letby, that nurse, killed 7 or 8 fucking babies. They didn't do shit about that. You know what I mean? That white fucking blonde haired woman. That's fine. They were allowed to let that fucking shit fly. But this fucking this English kid or this Welsh kid even, whose parents are immigrants, they had an issue with that because he was black when he did that horrendous thing, and I hope he goes fucking down for it. But he's not a representation of every race and minority and everything. The same way Lucy Letby is not a representation of all white people. And this is the thing with white people. If I want to finish off my monologue here, is that you are so fucking lucky that you will never get generalized. Everyone else will fucking get generalized, but you fuckers won't. And you're so fucking lucky to have that. That's that white privilege right there. All right, I'm done.
Beautifully put. Gaz, I'll go to you, then finish off with Alexia.
Okay, so I actually crossed paths with the racists, so people know that I'm trained to be a pro wrestler. So as I was coming out, they were all in Piccadilly Gardens in Manchester, so they were all near the Burger King that's near Piccadilly Gardens. And here's how close they came to me. I was waiting at the bus stop, and a family, or an Arab family, were coming towards me, and they were being chased by two guys on a bike, filming them, saying all sorts of, "Oh, get on with it, get out of the country, you've ruined the country, blah blah blah." I was that close to hitting them. They came they were like that close to me. They were physically not. They're about 5 feet away from me, if not 10. And I was that close. I wanted to be close just in case it was going to kick off, because I knew that these guys would be very confrontational. And the family were like trying to get away, and literally they're going, "Oh, get out of the country!" And they're going like, "Free Palestine!" right in their faces. It's just like, so it's like, and I can't believe that Mancunians do this. And so we live in a very much. It's like you were saying with London was that we live in a very multicultural country city. We've got a lot of like Muslims here. We've got a lot of black people here. We've got a lot of like Eastern Europeans, all sorts. And it's ridiculous. I mean, like, see that people. But the good thing that's come out of this, and it has been a good thing, has been that there's lots of groups out there who are like talking about like walking Muslim families, to and from mosques, escorting them if they want to go to the shops, looking after them. Because there's a lot of people being like threatened with acid and stuff like that, and have like
Yeah.
the mosque being destroyed. I'm just like, do you know what? That is the part of the country that I'm celebrating. These people do not represent the country. The other people who complain about, oh, you should get out of the country. No, you should get out of the country. You do not represent it. You're scumbags. There you go. That's what I have to say.
Go to America. Alexia, your thoughts?
Right, can I say first of all, that as a culturally Christian person who was born and raised here, that I denounce all of the violence that occurred, because apparently each of the group individually does need to, like Muslims do, apparently. Gaz is both white and a Christian, and very, very lucky that the churches have been safe. And how dare you not open by denouncing violence in that way that Farage did not. And of course, I am going to have to throw in there that something that they've dug up from my searches is they found a Doctor Who connection to the killer. So as a Doctor Who fan, I denounce all violence. So that, because any member of the group has to. And anything else? Something, because we were talking about Netflix before we began. Something that's actually funny on Netflix, of course, is a very memeable show. It's I Think You Should Leave, which of course gave us the hot dog guy sketch, which I'm sure is a meme that everybody knows. But it's basically code for person who is obviously to blame, acting like he's one of the crowd. We just have to find the person who's responsible, which is how it feels watching, yes, members of the Murdoch media, also obviously Nigel Farage, and anybody who platforms him. Farage, who did not at any point in what he said any condolences to the victims, because it's only political capital. He did not care about those kids. And the absurdity of it. I mean, I said sorry, should I call you Gigi?
Yeah.
Yeah, in a sense, any of the media, but the most absurd is when you see Talk TV or well GB News, but GBBs as we call them. And meanwhile, Tommy Ten Names is sunning it up somewhere.
Cyprus in
And
my country,
oh
one of my
wow,
countries. Yeah,
wow, right,
but
okay.
he's been doxxed and he's now
Mhm.
fearing for his life in Cyprus.
Right. Well, we'll see if somebody gives him the asylum that he seeks. And yeah, so I think, but I was a bit surprised that more people weren't sharing hot dog guy memes, but apparently I'm the only person here who knows that show or that meme. But
Yeah, I haven't
yeah,
watched the. Oh, I haven't watched the show.
but, but yeah, but it's almost a he's behind you. It's comically absurd to see someone so obviously culpable act like they're just one of us and not to blame and did nothing. It's like, right, okay, nobody leaves until we find the person who caused this. So
Yeah,
anyway,
and it's the person. Yeah, I get you. Yeah, I mean, the sad thing is it's Nigel Farage and Tommy Robinson are kind of. I mean, I don't like to say it, but they're kind of patient zero for a lot of this rhetoric. You know, when people always tell you one person can't change anything, you underestimate Nigel Farage and
mm,
the usefulness he poses to the establishment. Because thanks to him, we ended up with Brexit, and thanks to him, we've ended up with this huge, like knee-jerk reaction to immigration, and thanks to his never-ending rhetoric, we go around in this vicious cycle, and people like Tommy Robinson who just fuel more and more violence against Muslims, and we've ended up at boiling point now where people have just they've had enough. They want they don't realize that all this uh poverty, all this suffering, all this injustice, all this bad luck that they're having is all thanks to 45 years of Thatcherism. They can't place it in their minds. They just keep thinking, yeah, that guy there who I like because he's got personality, he's telling me it's the brown guy who's doing it. And it's like, how many fucking times do we have to tell you? The people at the top are telling you to blame your fellow working class person so that they can continue to rule over us. It's called divide and conquer. It's a tactic that predates the Romans, even though they kind of made it famous. It dates way back before them, and it works every time. And here we have the far right out causing chaos, destruction, just attacking anything because they just don't have a brains to put two and two together to say, hey, the very people you support are the very people causing your pain and suffering. And then we have to come out and then defend the people being attacked and then come out and go up against the far right and put blockades. Meanwhile, while all this is going on, you know that our sociopathic leaders are doing dirty deals behind closed doors and just carrying on because every time policies and deals are made and things get privatized is when there's chaos in the streets. And it just fuels your misery furthermore. And I'm not to say like people don't have general grievances. Look, I mean, the level of immigration is just it's just gone unchecked in this country, and it's by design. It's to flood the market with cheap labor. It's to flood the market so they can fuel the rhetoric of sputrid and hatred. It's backdoor deals with other countries with lapsed visa laws, i.e., like Turkey, so that you can get your hands on other shit or sell arms to a country or do some greasy uh, shit with their minerals or whatever and all this kind of shit. And then what happens is it's a shock to the system, it's a shock to the demographic, and people that can't put two and two together to realize what's actually happened just get angry at the people coming over. Well, it's not their fault. We're bombing their countries. there's mass wars in Africa, so they're fleeing to come over here, and they come over here and they're getting burnt to death. They're getting their fucking boats like attacked. They're getting their hotels attacked, you know. And the same morons that during COVID were out clapping for the NHS are now putting a boot in nurses' faces. So it's just like, at what point do you start reflecting on yourself to realize, okay, I'm a bit of a thick cunt and none of this is working? Because what's going to happen now? Now we're going to have more draconian laws come in that are going to clamp down on these rioters. But the proxy of when things like that happen, just like 9/11 in America and all this kind of shit, or 7/7 over here, is they use those laws to then further go after your right to protest, like with genuine grievances. Because if you use vague language to say, well, these guys are being a nuisance, therefore we can arrest them, rather than saying they are being violent, hateful, racists attacking minority groups. And even if it was like, you know, Muslims doing the same thing in this country, okay, despite them being born here, you'd expect the same response. But the problem is, if we got protesting for like workers' rights or no more genocide, they could say, oh, they're being a nuisance, arrest them. So it never ends well for anyone. Anyone else want to come in? I'm going to go to the comments here as well. Does anyone know why Yaxley, Ireland as a country of residence when he was stopped in Canada? That's because he was born in Ireland, but because he's, you know, got a criminal record in the UK, he tried to bypass that to come here, you know, and his family's in danger, and like a refugee, he must flee. The irony is completely lost on these idiots. Also, immigrants who come over should integrate like the Sikhs, Hindus, West Indians have. That also causes this. Well, you know, it's not about whether you want to integrate or not. It's just crack on with it and do your thing and work. They all contribute to society in one way or another. You know, not everyone has to fucking integrate. You know, white people don't bloody integrate when they immigrate to Spain. Half the cunts I know don't even like they sit there. Yeah, I've been living here for 20 years. Oh, great. Do you speak Spanish? No, not a word of it. That's not integrating. You're muted, Sam.
Yeah, when I went to Tenerife, and I fucking hated it, by the way. It was basically England with palm trees. It was terrible. You know, those all the Spanish people weren't there. I mean, there were other nationalities too, like Germans and like some Scandinavians and stuff like that. But everyone was just there because they wanted to be in a sunny location where everyone spoke English, and it just takes away from being on holiday. This comment here I need to get to. Garbo. Oh my God, what a load of far left Marxist idiots. You are so out of touch with the white working class of the country. You're part of the problem. Can't be listened to this crock of activist drivel. I mean, where to start? Like, mate, we are actually on your side when it comes to wanting you to have a better life, but you seem to blame the wrong people for why your life is so shit. When it comes to we are all working class people ourselves, and we know what the problem is, and it's not fucking immigrants. You know, you've been told it's immigrants because your life is so shit and you need someone to blame. But the person telling you it's immigrants is the person you need to be blaming. You know, the person fucking feeding you all the propaganda is the people you need to be blaming. It's very easy to blame immigrants and stuff like that. They might look a little bit weak to you. They're a bit of a pushover. You go in there with your fucking Jimmy Five bellies and all of that shit and fucking giving it large and all of that. But overall, it just a sort of hooligan mentality that you got deep down and you want to express it in a way which is really fucking stupid. But your problems are sometimes to do with yourself as well as the hierarchy in this country that are fucking putting you down.
And also, calling us left Marxists, it's not an insult. That's a compliment, you stupid fuck. That's a compliment.
So what is a right-wing Marxist? What is a right-wing Marxist?
Just a right winger called Mark.
Yeah, that's it.
You know, you the people that fucking gave you the NHS, your social housing, your workers' rights, your weekends, your bank holidays. Okay, your women's rights, all this kind of shit. We're the bad side. What have the right given you? A free market that is destroying society and racist thuggery. Brilliant. The right contribute fuck all to society. Absolutely nothing. So call me a leftist Marxist all you want. I will sit there and tweak my nipples and get aroused at it. And also this one here. In Muslim countries, the majority of terrorists are Muslim. But guess what? In the West, the majority of terrorism are far right white nationalists. So much so that in America, they rank the number one terrorists in the country. Okay, and if you want to know how the Muslimic terrorists were created, you can point the fingers at us and the Americans, because we are the ones that armed these fundamentalists, militia groups, just because a country wanted to do a little bit of leftist Marxism by nationalizing all of its resources and not having American or British corporations take it and give nothing back to the people. So we went and armed these fundamentalists because they are a lot easier to cause chaos within a country, to control and manipulate, and to extract resources.
Can I just also step in by saying, look at countries like Afghanistan and Iran before 1977. Yeah, those countries were so fucking progressive. They were going places. They were nothing like what they seem now. But because of American intervention into those countries and putting in their fucking puppets and funding fucking the very terrorists now that we're fighting against, these countries became, unfortunately,
I'll see you guys. Don't worry, I'll come to you next.
they went backwards with religious indoctrination, and they're not the progressive, scientific marvels that they were prior to that. You just have to look. You can go on the internet and look at Afghanistan 1970, Iran 1970. The people in those countries, they look nothing like how they look like now. They were wearing fucking revealing clothes. They were fucking walking out in the they look European, in the way we would think of them. They weren't fucking dressed so fucking conservatively, but religion's kind of done that to them, and this is something that the West have fed in order to put them under control.
And this just simply isn't fucking true. Okay, in the early days of capitalism, yes, there was more work and people were getting paid and better jobs, and it created the working class, the middle class, and all this kind of stuff. But then, as with always, you had unscrupulous factory owners who violated every fucking working right you can imagine. You had unscrupulous landlords that were basically saying, "Oh, you got a pay rise, great, I'm going to take that money." You had no rights as a worker, and you lived in fear of your landlord. Okay, and then what happened was, after the Russian Revolution, the fear of communism swept through all of Europe. So as a reaction to that, we started getting more workers' rights. Our own factories started unionizing. Our own factories started striking, and more rights were given. And then after the war, we knew that we cannot have the private sector look after the housing. We needed more council housing, and council housing helped lift more people out of poverty, more workers' rights, better wages. Up until Thatcherism, you can afford a fucking house as well. So no, free market capitalism has actually now plunged us further into poverty. Okay, especially since the birth of neoliberalism. So no, guys.
Yeah, because I mean, like you look what's happened in this country. Like the people who caused terrorism have been the white people. Look what's happened recently. Like it's not the Muslims who've been going out bombing hotels trying to kill immigrants. It's not the Muslims who's going out there throwing acid at people. It's not the Muslims going out there attacking the police force. It's not the Muslim going out there looting and stealing from Greg's, stealing from CX, stealing from Flaming Cash Converter and all that stuff. It seems to be a lot of white people. Could they not integrate? Could they not be just fudging? It's funny how all the Muslims that people seem to complain about are actually the ones who are trying to do the best they can and protect the communities they're in. It's funny that, isn't it? And the thing that disgusts me the most.
Muslims aren't smashing into a Greg's is because it's not halal.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is that and the thing is that's bugging me the most is that like these people complain about, oh, they're stealing our jobs, they're taking our jobs. No, these people are tax credit, university credit, fucking job dodgy cunts, right? And they're going after the very people who actually work hard in this country. Fuck them. Sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. I've got a great white privilege life. I don't need to try making a living sitting being a sad YouTuber. You puppets get a job after you finish twiddling your nipples and your man boo's big enough. Oh, Garbo, you say such the sexiest things. I'm half erect right now. Half erect. I'll get fully erect later, but there's a great big stomach in the way and it's kind of preventing me from doing that. But we have a proper jobs. We work proper jobs. We do this for fun. And in fact, my job is cleaning up a lot of the mess that the fucking neoliberal capitalists are making because I work for a charity. So kiss my ass. Sorry, guys, you had an American moment in your country. No, it's not an American moment. It's just resurfaced good old classic British racism coming back. We had plenty of it in the 90s. That's why people like me had to carry a fucking knife, not for my sake, but for the sake of my not so white friends. Never used it. I used it once to cut a rope for an old lady, but that was about it. Why did you switch chats? What?
I don't know. I don't know what you mean, Rowan. And Scab,
No,
right? We are all four people in this chat here work for a living. Like I work 8 hours. I'm sure all these other people work 8 hours. Actually, Zam works more than that because he's a tractor driver. Saying.
Yeah. Are you talking to Garbo? All right. Fair enough.
Sorry, Gaz. On that, were you? Did I misunderstand? Yeah, am I here now? Oh.
No, I can hear you, Alexa. Zan, that was me.
Sorry, I can hear you.
Sorry, Gaz, what were you saying about people on universal credit? I don't know if I misunderstood you.
I'm talking about the people who write in. The far writers. They tend to be on universal credit and tax dodgers.
Because the ones that basically say, no, immigrants are taking our jobs, but they're not actually working. The majority of them don't work.
Right.
Yeah,
okay.
they're popping up babies so they can fucking get the government to pay for all their shit. I come in here, but
Bye, Garbo. Have a lovely night. Take care of yourself.
Oh, don't go I thought Garbo had the hots for me because they knew that I was fucking bisexual, but fair enough.
Maybe later I might let you take this ring.
Maybe so. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. I'll come back to me later. No, I remember. Like like just going across the pond, for instance. This Garbo person was mentioning regarding how all Muslims are terrorists. But if I was in the States, for instance, for argument's sake, I wouldn't be worried about fucking Muhammad or fucking Jose. I'd be more worried about Cletus and his fucking AR fucking 40, fucking 15 or whatever. Shooting up some school whilst he's fucking chilling out with his fucking Ku Klux Klan brethren. You know what I mean? And then in fucking this country too, we got the fucking EDL, which in my opinion is a terrorist organization. You know what I mean? They are white supremacist terrorist organization that have no idea what they're fucking fighting for, other than the fact that they hate people who look different to them with a different melanin count. They have no problem going for a fucking chicken tikka masala and having a kebab on the fucking weekends. These fucking hypocritical dickheads.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
What I mean?
But
look, they still hate foreigners for some reason.
So not everyone protesting is far right. Some have legitimate concerns. I keep hearing this fucking shit. They have a funny way of showing it by calling everyone the P and the N word. All right. Yeah. And I've said before, it's okay to have legitimate concerns about out of control immigration. Okay. Not everyone has to stand for it being out of control. There has to be some kind of systems in place. But the problem is the very people that you voted for are the very people that have cut funding in every aspect of the Home Office that is just allowed a free for all. And it's just time and time again. So, if people that have legitimate grievances would have legitimate grievances by voting the right way, not going out there and punching somebody that was a different shade of skin to them. All right. So, and again, the very people that fuel this hatred and anger are the very people that are allowing the immigrants to come in unchecked and allowing everything to just get flooded, because it's
You
what
know,
fuels them. And time again, the right back the people. They keep falling for it because you guys don't have a fucking attention span. You can't remember what happened yesterday. All right, you can't understand. Oh, 14 years of Tory rule, immigration's out of control. 1 month of Starmer, it's all his fault. Like, that's how they think. That's how they work. It's just fucking like so stupid.
I want to get to something here regarding Rick B's son. Um, he says there's also Chavi morons who go there to smash it up and are not politically aligned. Well, where was that argument for fucking Black Lives Matter? Because that was the fucking same case in the States when people were marching in the streets, but some places were getting looted and raided. But nobody thought about that when it came to Black Lives Matter. They just fucking blamed all of them. And you know what? I do agree with you, Rick B. I do believe that there are people out there who align themselves with these fucking racist dickheads, and they are just looking for an excuse to smash shit up, for sure. Unfortunately, then some of these other dickheads who initially weren't looking to smash shit up sees an opportunity and fucking joins them anyway, which I'll happily show you in some of my TikTok videos a little bit later. But it's the same. It's the same fucking argument, regarding opportunists people versus people who are proper looters. And by the way, during all the Palestine protests, all of them that have happened here in the UK, none of this looting shit was fucking happening. Not once. You know what I mean?
No.
Obviously, yeah, there might have been an arrest here or there, but
I mean,
I got caught up. I'm sorry, I got caught up in some of the Palestine protests as a cab driver. I never felt anything. I never felt any fear for my life whatsoever. But when the fucking EDL motherfuckers were coming into London doing their fucking all lives matter or their fucking white supremacist bullshit, I fucking clocked off. But they ain't fucking taking one of those fucking cunts back home after they fucking finished their fucking Nazi marches. No fucking way.
I mean, look, and the thing is that the topic of immigration kind of goes out the window when people are afraid for their lives. We literally firebombing people hotels. The argument kind of gets, what's the word? Kind of like loses any kind of traction when you're killing people, or you try to throw acid at people, or anything like that. The kind of high ground you might have heard, or the kind of decent point you might have had, immigration goes out the window. Okay, nobody here thinks that immigration the way it is in this country is okay, right? But the way to address that is not by firebombing people or making people call Cobra meeting. The way to go about it is talk to your MP about it and try and talk to them about proper managed immigration, because we need immigration in this country. We have jobs in this country that don't get done because our immigration policy is shit. Because the people that we used to employ to do it, we can't employ to do it anymore because of the bloody lovely thing that was called Brexit and lack of freedom of movement. Like, for example, like farms, for instance, have lost a lot of the cheap labour that they used to rely upon to do their
just to interject,
people.
it's not even cheap labor. It's not cheap labor. Like, they just lost people that could work the farms. They were getting paid, good seasonal money, like 28, 30 grand for seasonal work. And that's not work that's like 30 grand a year. It's 30 grand for the season, which could last like half a year or whatever. But since Brexit, we've lost that, and tons and tons and tons of produce is just rotting in the fields. Or you're getting your fruit and your veg, but you're finding it's going rotten a lot quicker than what it used to, because there's such delays in getting that produce out there because of the lack of staff. So, on Zam's point as well, just wanted to say the dignity and the restraint, and that the anti-genocide, the pro-workers, and the anti-fascists had to show in all of their protests over the years is unparalleled, and yet they have still been vilified and gaslit in the press, in the media, as like pro-terrorists, anti-capitalist, which
Yep.
that's not really an insult calling people anti-capitalist.
Mhm.
Okay. And yet the far right who are causing all this shit, and you still have people not only defending them, but being very careful of the language they are using. All right. They're not calling them far right protesters in some cases. They're just calling them pro-British marchers. They're not even calling them rioters. All right. So this is the mountain that we have to fight against when everyone else, the cards are all stacked in their favor. And even now, when they're beating the shit, stabbing people, kicking nurses in the head, setting fire to buildings, even now, the media is still either on their side or very soft in their language to kind of not paint them as the pieces of shit that they are. And I, for one, just say, you know what? When it all boils over, and we eventually on our side start doing the same shit, you watch how quick the law will fucking come down on us, how quick the media will vilify and attack us even more. So it's not a level playing field, and people need to realize this, and this is what enables them to carry this on. Because at the end of the day, what happens? The billionaires sitting at the top of the balcony watching us plebs are laughing their head off because they're like, this is perfect. This is great. They're not focused on us. The dumb cunts have taken over the asylum, and they are basically they are the vocal majority online, and the stupefaction of the human race is accelerating to the point where people are just too stupid to realize what's actually going on. And us that do have the voices, even on X, the bastion of free speech, our accounts are getting blocked. Our, even on Meta and all of that, we're getting blocked. We're getting silenced. YouTube is the same. So it's not yeah, guys.
Did you watch Zara Sultana on GB
Yes.
News? Not
Yeah.
GB News, Good Morning Britain. What a load
Good
of crap
morning,
that
Britain.
was. Having and like she was bringing up like legitimately like how over the last 20 years the Muslim community has been vilified in this country, and literally Ed Balls was going, well, what about immigration? She's not talking about fucking immigration. She's talking about the actual Muslims who live in this country, who like maybe second, third generation. And she's talking about how they're being vilified by people in this country. And they keep on going, what about immigration? It's like, we're not talking about immigration. And then he goes, well, people need to talk about immigration. We're not talking about immigration, we're talking about the media's. And he kept on going back to it. And then, like, his wife came on, and she was launching a load of softball questions about, like, because now, to be fair to his wife, right, she's only been in office, 2-3 weeks. But you don't play do softball questions. You ask her equally difficult questions. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, Sam, you're muted. You keep muting yourself.
Sorry, sorry. I apologize. My cough and my fan.
That's all right, mate.
There is a
I can't hear your fan, by the way, so you can keep your mic on.
Oh, fair enough. The conflict of interest there regarding Ed Balls, and his wife being the Home Secretary and stuff like that. But it could be a George Conway, Kellyanne Conway situation, hopefully, but it's not the case, obviously, because Ed Balls is a fucking dickhead. I got something else.
Ed Balls is opportunity to kind of gaslight another socialist as well, because we know the disdain that he has for socialists. So here he's doing that, and he's also defending the Islamophobic rhetoric from his paymasters. So it's a double-edged, double barrel for him.
Yeah. All right, you guys ready for some TikToks?
Yeah. Let me just play this video first. It's similar to your TikTok stuff, and then we'll crack on with yours. I'll just get out of the way so I can. Right. Can I do full screen on this? Just
Good
about.
enough.
How many brain cells have you got, mate?
Yeah, I remember this.
Tell us we're coming in to steal your jobs. You can't even get a job. Look at you. Look at your belly. How about work on your health? How about stop the drugs? How about stop the beer? Look at the state of your face. You little tomato face. You're saying we're coming in to steal your jobs. You can't even get a fucking job. You're all fucking benefit dodgers. Universal credit, mate. That's what you man are on. You man are on universal credit. And what? And what? Stealing your jobs. I'm stealing your.
Oh, I love that one.
Exactly. So,
Yeah,
Alexia, welcome to Oi Geezer, cunt, cup of tea, love. Cheers, governor. Stupid English cunts. Wanker.
Right. Okay.
So appropriately for this particular thing. But I thought, considering we've been doing a lot of serious stuff, let's start off with something a little bit humorous, shall we? So I saw this clip here. Check it out.
I'm Robert Tomlinson, and for too long the far right have been silenced, when actually we're the good guys. Oh, you got a bit of what? We should be allowed to riot over completely false information. But if you won't let us, we'll do it our own way, with the EDL Olympics, a safe space to be a national disgrace. It includes discriminastics, where instead of doing somersaults, we commit them. Here he goes now with the front, flipping immigrants straight into the high, kicking off at a peaceful vigil, ends with the taking our country backflip. Oh, he's done it! Both hands in the air, it's usually just the one. Long jump to racist conclusions. Right, just read a couple of Islamophobic tweets, reposted some misinformation. Denise has just posted a false picture of the suspect on Facebook. He thinks he has enough to make an assumption. He's a Muslim refugee who arrived here on a small dinghy. None of that is true. It's a new world record. 7 seconds to form an opinion. Mayonnaise. And finally, stop putting your country to shame. Grab a brick and lob it at things designed to promote peace. Right, now it's hit the police officer. That's 10 points. Oh, nice. Place of worship, another 10. Oh, no, he's misfired that one. Oh, straight in the immigrants coming here, healing our knobs. The EDL Olympics. Let's show the world just how great in Britain is.
There you go.
Great. I'll just go to this comment quickly. Yeah, and when they do things like this, Rick, like come out and protest schools for teaching LGBT stuff in this country, that's when you clap back at them. You say to them,
Yep.
you know, this is where you say, hey, if you don't like it, fuck off. Simple as that. You know, you defend against like religious fundamentalism or homophobia, but it doesn't mean it's okay to still go out and boot a Muslim in the face just for going by their daily life. You know, it's not one or the other. Like, you can't just blindly defend everything Muslims do either, because again, we're still dealing with when we're talking about fundamentalism, it's all stems from the same fucking Abrahamic religion, and they're all bloody warped on their views on certain things, and you clap back at that. But majority of them aren't like that.
All right, this is a bit of a classic, but it's funny as fuck. Check it out.
What's that mean? I've got no idea. Well, you better tell me what that means. At the end of the day, it's a symbol. Why is it on your microphone? What does that mean? And why is it all over my town? Why is it on your microphone? And why is it all over my town in Oldham?
What's your point?
I want to know what that means.
I don't know what it means.
Well, somebody better tell you the answer now. You're waving that around in people's faces. That is a microphone cover. What is that?
Another good question. Why did the UAF over there?
Somebody answer me a question. What is that symbol? I'm asking you a question. What is that symbol? Well, you're the one with the microphone. What does that symbol mean?
It's a symbol of our channel.
Of what channel?
Press TV.
Which Press TV? Right?
It's a Middle Eastern TV.
What's that? What channel is that? What channel is that? What channel is that? Right, what does that mean? I want to know what that means.
What do you think it means?
Listen, at the end of the
find
day,
out
guys,
quick, get on your phone now.
Listen, at the end of the day, guys,
Because that is
have you
all over
got
my
any more
town.
questions?
Why excited you tonight? The mosque has actually been there for years.
What is? Does that look as if it's been there for years?
That's all over.
Who's objecting to that? Is anybody objecting in Sweden about mosques? Is anybody objecting in the rest of Europe about mosques? Nobody are. Listen, I'll tell you what, right? We have no problem with mosques being built over here, so long as we can build mosques in Mecca. Yeah, I'd love to see that. I would love to see a mosque being built in Mecca.
What's that mean?
I think you meant churches, but
And there's also churches in Mecca you say dim it. Okay, now.
By the way, these are Rick B's people, by the way. You know, he wants to be picked me by these, don't you, Rick B? Yeah, man. Your people, Rick B.
Does it mean the church you say Mecca?
I think so, but obviously he's so fucking stupid.
All right, there is a church in Mecca.
Yeah, I'm sure there is.
Fucking.
So,
Some people are stupid. Yeah.
let's have a look. Let's just check this one out. I think this might be somebody on the right side or the correct side, to be more precise. Let's check it. Well, you seem to be defending them all the time, Rick B. So, anyway.
All violent men have got nothing better to do. They're too old for the football terraces. It's just an excuse. You've got these little boutique right-wing parties going on. Lawrence Fox is one of the worst. He had a demonstration, which I saw on YouTube, and he was talking about, I want my country back. Is it his country or is it our country? And you've got these individuals now who believe that this is their country and it's going the wrong way. They are the ignorant. They are the very, very lowest IQs, you know, who get their selective information through the social media and then go and react to it. They're great when there's hundreds of them, but on their own in a court, they're not so great. All the violent men have got nothing better to do.
Right.
They're too old.
I thought that guy had some good points, you know.
Yeah,
right-wing boutiques, yeah.
I forgot about Lawrence Fox as well. He's another one.
Yeah,
But he's
a bunch of these dickheads, you know, so many of them, and all causing a lot of shit. Let's see what else do we have. What's this one? No, not that one.
Rick, the morons on the left tend to be American. Let's just, you know, because they annoy me as well. Let's be clear.
And with all this looting's happening, by the way. All this, and it is the far right that's doing it. And here's some more in Manchester. You're part of the world, Gary.
These are the people who want to protect our country from those who are coming over on the boats, the criminals, the thieves, the undocumented people who are going to ruin our culture and ruin our country. Yeah, okay.
All right. Pretty much said there.
I mean, as we speak right now, where I'm living, not too far away, there's a riot going on. Which is about this stuff, where basically they're taking the opportunity to loot my local precinct and burn it up. I mean, that's it. That's his normal. I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, it's a bit of a shithole anyway. So like, they might actually get it very renovated. So they might do us a favour. But like, even so.
Now look, there are lots.
Really?
There are lots of British people. When I say British, I mean people who are ethnic to this country, like this lady here, and there's loads of them. You know, they are the ones who integrate into society, and they know right from wrong, and when they speak up about it. Check what this lady has to say.
It's a reason for violence. It's certainly not in my name. Nazis burn books. These have gone one step further and burnt a library down. I'm not having it that people can't feel safe living around here or living anywhere. I'm absolutely upset that it's gone on, and I'm shocked to find out how many racist friends I seem to have. To be honest, certainly not me. Certainly not me. It's so sad.
What do you think's causing it?
Well, it's like everything else. The blaming the death of innocent children in Southport. Absolutely appalling what's happened there. But it's just an excuse to show the knuckle-dragging racism of them. And I'm here to say we don't all feel the same way. We don't all feel the same way. Many people live above these shops with children. And yet they may not all be from Liverpool. But how frightened they must have been last night. How frightened they must have been. And I'm here to tell them we don't all feel the same way.
This gives me encouragement knowing that, you know, there are lots of British people who do not stand. When I say British, I don't mean like me or yourself, Ginger, who are from
British English.
British English, like people like Gary, and I'm sure your parents, and maybe I'm not sure about yourself, Alexia, but regarding your background, if it's all English or British, but regardless, what I'm just saying is that it's very good to see that there are people out there who know the difference between right and wrong, who are from this country ethnically, and this lady's one of them, and she's not a young person either. She's not like one of these people who she's not a boomer, in that sense. I mean, she's probably of that generation, but she's not like typical boomer. She knows, and that's encouraging. When
I
you
can tell.
see stuff like that. Stuff like sorry, go on.
Oh, well, I actually live in Southend. I'm from London. I'm from Walthamstow in northeast London. I live in Southend-on-Sea, Essex, which is both near Clacton, and of course, is Tory voting and Brexit voting, and but pretty much nobody that I meet in the, I don't know, 5-6 years I've been here has actually. You don't tend to meet the bad guy kind often. That's what I've found. Yeah.
Well, no, I'm just saying. Yeah, I mean, I'm fortunate. I'm happy for you. I've been to Clacton several times through my work, dropping people there. And luckily for me, I haven't had come across any of the dickheads. But I'm sure there are plenty of them out there, and I feel sorry for some of the people who have to deal with them. Now they've got Nigel Farage in charge of them. And by the way, Nigel Farage, he's too busy. I mean, I know he's back in England now, but as soon as he got elected, you know what he did? He went straight to America to brown nose Donald Trump. The people who voted for him, they didn't see him. Because his job was done.
I still haven't seen him. He left. And now he's what, on holiday?
Yeah. So I mean, he's elected MP, and I think he's only turned up to Parliament twice.
Yeah.
He went on holiday. He went on holiday before the King's speech.
Yeah. You're not supposed to do that.
He doesn't want to.
It's encouraging that, in the sense that hopefully in 5 years' time, or people just get sick of him and force a by-election if he carries on.
I don't know, man. People are so fucking
stupid. It doesn't mean they're going to vote for anyone better, but getting Farage out, like, that guy just gets way too much TV time. Like, the fucking establishment love him. They love him. He's their perfect little puppet.
Anyway, let's check out what these guys to say. Please work. Why are you not working?
Uh-oh. They got to him.
Refreshing it. What the hell? All right, let me remove and I wanted whilst I'm sorting this out, I just also wanted to say that a lot of these people are royalists. A lot of these far right fuckers, they're hardcore royalists, and I think I saw one banner. I'm not sure if I got it in my videos or not, but of these people saying, we fight for our country, we fight for our king. And I'm thinking to myself, King Charles doesn't give a flying fuck about you. I mean, these guys have got an extra £45 million in subsidies whilst you're fucking struggling. The royal family don't give a living shit about any of you motherfuckers. If anything, you should be against them, so they can stop taking all your fucking tax money, and then you can fucking live a better fucking life, but they'll probably go towards you instead of these fucking freeloading cunts. But,
yeah. Why steal sausage rolls from Greg's when you could just eat the King's fingers?
Yeah.
I mean, brilliant. Oh, good. Just reading BC, this says centrist. Right. Bill Maher and Piers Morgan are centrist.
Piers Morgan is centrist.
Yeah. They're fucking, Bill Maher's just gone full right wing now, by the way, because he literally attacks everything that he used to stand for, and half the things he used to stand for are very left wing positions, like Medicare for all and better workers' rights, and he's against all of that now. And Piers Morgan is a fucking right winger. He's not a bloody centrist. He's a fucking an atypical bloody what's the word for it? Not journalist, clown. That's the word. Okay, and we do criticize both sides, but the problem is that the center are enabling the right because the center likes the fiscal policies of the right, and that is just helping fuel tightening of control by the billionaire class. Okay, you criticize us for what? Just because you got upset that somebody said, "Oh, this is sexist." What else you going to criticize? Housing, health, education, workers' rights. Fucking centrists. You lot are just as useless as the right.
Yep, I agree. Okay, I've got my I've had to change browser regarding my TikToky.
And Stalin,
Because,
you know, Stalin is just like you. He was just your atypical fucking dictator. Okay, you know, he seized power, populist rhetoric, but he was a piece of shit.
Yeah, he didn't go by Marxist framing by Marxist teachings. Marxist teachings is against framing top-down framing authoritarianism.
Yeah, exactly. It was after Marx. It was after Marxism. It was after Stalin died that the USSR put in better reforms for itself and really started improving for its people. Fuck Stalin.
oh shit! Hold on. Sorry, there might not be any sound in this. 1 second.
So,
Yeah, no worries, mate. Crack on.
All right, let's try this again. Yeah, sound, audio. To share audio, share a tab or screen instead. Oh, you fuckers. All right, fine. Let's do the screen instead. All right. All right.
Centrists are successful because you help aid the establishment, and therefore the establishment is happy to put you up there. They'll be like, yeah, they'll protect all the same financial shit that makes our lives a misery, but you know they're not racist, so it's very marketable. That's centrism.
We need to take back our country. This next video is a perfect example of how slow reform voters are. The Tommy Robinson lot. Check this out.
Put it another way. When you got the Titanic and they filled it with too many people, what happened? It sunk. And that's what's happening to England. We're sinking too many.
Sorry, love. That's not how the Titanic sunk. It was a fucking iceberg. This is what our iceberg looks like. Oh, we're going through a cost of living crisis. The Royals are getting £45 million extra. These lot are the definition of benefit scroungers. £45 million extra while people are struggling. No one says a fucking word. This is your iceberg. Want to focus on the Muslims? Grooming our children. Save our kids. Why didn't you not protest about him? Where's the protest, bro? This is your iceberg. British gas, these profits increased tenfold while we're struggling. Your nan in the winter is going to freeze to death because of these soaring prices. But you ain't protesting about this, though. Let's get the Muslimics out of here. Too many immigrants. Divide and conquer is working so well on you lot and you can't even see it. There's got to be a study on level of education and people who are racist, Tommy Robinson and these kind of people. Because you lot can't see the blatant obvious. So easily led, man. Anyway, I'll see you lot next Tuesday. We need to...
Yeah.
Okay, so has she even... Sorry.
So I'm just gonna say Elon Musk has never been a fucking centrist. Okay.
What? Elon Musk?
Never been a centrist. Nothing of his rhetoric, and his daughter exposed him further that he's always just been a racist piece of shit with just total disdain for workers. Nothing about him is a centrist. Anyway, let's carry on before Rick sends more of this into stupidity.
Sorry, when an ignorant person brings up the Titanic, I want to at least believe that she's seen that movie, which I have, and I'm not a huge fan. Right, so, rich British people are the bad guys, and women are oppressed. That's something that's thrown in there. Well, no, it's true. It's 1912. The Irish are basically the ethnic minority in that film and basically built the bloody ship. And towards the and the Irish and the working classes are locked up lower decks to stop them getting to the lifeboats, and they are left to die. Also, a working class white man is falsely accused of theft and also chained up and left to die because of a rich prick who just wanted to make money on a fucking insurance scam. Like what the fuck? Yeah, the working class get fucked, and so do the Irish along with them. And in an oppressive patriarchal society, it's a surprisingly leftist film, given it's made by a dickhead. Like, what did you not understand? Like, they valued money and profit above humans and human life, and in an oppressive fucking society. That's what happened in that film. I know it's like 3.5 hours, right? But you've at least got to have the movie as your frame of reference. It's the worst thing in popular culture she could fucking pick. And she didn't even get the, ugh.
Well, that and the fact that it wasn't overfilled that sunk it. It was a fucking great big juicy iceberg that sunk it.
Yeah.
So even if there was 2 people in it, it still would have fucking sunk.
And ironically, you would support lifeboats after that film.
Yeah, they wouldn't. They'd shoot those lifeboats.
Elon Musk promotes white supremacy propaganda X. Yes, he does. By the way, check this one out. This is a classic, but what do you expect?
Some foreigners that are coming over and taking our jobs, yeah, and not even working. And they're working.
They take our jobs if they're not working.
Because they do it. They do it. Simple as that.
People are so dumb.
No, that's the definition of somebody Rick B supports.
Unfortunately, you can't say, oh, you can't take them serious because they're so fucking violent. Because stupid people are so violent. Because that's their reaction. Their brain frazzles, so they need violence as a way to vent their stupidity and confusion. So you have to take them serious in the sense that that person brain can short circuit, and there could have been a threat, like, you know, it could have punched in the face, you know. So it's just so frustrating that dumb people are just allowed to fucking just run their mouths off unchecked by so-called journalists.
Here we go.
Yet again, we see riots on the streets of England as a direct result of misinformation and lies spread by the political and media class over the last 20 plus years about immigrants, Muslims, and refugees. This is the England they wanted, and now they've got it. I'm sure we've all seen the reports coming out, and they are disgusting. People breaking up parts of gravestones to use as projectiles, people looting vape shops, people openly displaying Yahtzee symbols, people wearing balaclavas and committing arson. These thugs claim to be protecting their community, which is, of course, why it made a fat load of sense in the Citizens Advice Bureau, which provides people on low incomes and people from marginalized communities with free legal support and advice, some protection that. Yet, despite everything that is happening, there are still people claiming this is a protest. These people have legitimate concerns. Can you imagine for one moment what the response would be if this was happening at a ceasefire demo? I know GB News and Suella Braverman like to pretend that it does, but there's been a lot of ceasefire demos, lots of people in attendance, and yet we haven't seen any of the problems like what we are seeing at these riots. Yet we're supposed to believe that people peacefully marching for a ceasefire is a hate march, and yet people who are rioting in the streets, attacking people, burning anything they can, that's a protest. Get in the bin. Look, I get that 14 years of austerity combined with the lowest living standards on record, then combined with the constant scapegoating of minorities by politicians, platformed by the media because it makes them money, has created the disorder that we are seeing. And that's why it's important for communities to come together like they are to show the fascists that they do not represent them. The government is not going to do anything. Labour will continue the way that they are, paving the way for more violence and more hate. And that's why it's important for communities to resist these fascists, and resist them we shall. Yet again, we see riots on the street.
Yep. Well said, spot on.
I
Gary,
disagree.
have
I disagree with that. I think that the Labour government is trying to do something. That's the reason they're doing the Cobra meetings. The problem is.
No. I
Well,
think
no, can I-
yeah, I just want to interject here quickly, and then I'll let you finish.
Go
He's
on.
talking about in terms of financial policies. Carry on.
Right, but the thing is that even with I think you said it before, with 14 years of removing police numbers, so they've got no police to frame in, and the prison. And I think we found out. I think it was a couple of months ago that the prison system is basically fucked. So whereabouts are we supposed to send these people? So so we're doubly fucked. So I mean, Kirsten's got a difficult job of trying to find somewhere for these people to go, but also to try to sort it out. So if I was him, I mean, I'm not, but if I was, I'd get community service in, and you've got to clean up every town centre that you write it in for the next 2 years at least. Then that'll beat it out of you, in my opinion.
I don't think that'll work, but the guy was basically talking about, Keir Starmer, as we've seen, he's stolen away the winter fuel allowance from old ladies. So it's that kind of shit. This kind of continuation of Thatcherite policies that are just going to carry on fueling all this kind of shit. Even if he gets Cobra to do whatever he's going to do, and they're still going to use that to kind of erode our other people's rights as well. I'm not saying he shouldn't do anything. He fucking should.
Rick,
should treat them as terrorists and ship them off to Guantanamo.
Rick B, I do consume news from other sources because the old adage goes, keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. So trust me, I do. But it's always good to know what the opposition are thinking about you. And usually they're chatting shit. Anyway, check this out. By the way, this guy's got like a Northern Ireland, Middle Eastern accent, and it's just at times I find it a bit amusing. But anyway.
My name is Sam, and he is Abid. We came here about 5.
Can't boost it, I'm afraid.
Yeah, can't hear it.
But basically, okay, I'll stop this one. But basically, like, this shit is crazy. Like, it's happening in Northern Ireland, in Belfast, for fuck's sake. All this rioting.
Yeah, I mean, a bunch of unionists, loyalists are going to be there. So, they carry on the same fucking English rhetoric over there. If they're not trying to put a boot into Irish people, they're attacking immigrants, or we see it all the time. Same shit's happening in Ireland.
Sorry, just going to tangent here. Rick B. Elon Musk said that his fucking kid was dead. Dead named her, by the way. Wouldn't call her by a proper name, and said that she was killed or he was killed because he misgendered her as well. It's she now. They said he was killed by fucking wokeness. The woke mind virus. He was basically telling people to Jordan Peterson, that other fucking dickhead cunt, that his kid was dead by wokeness, when his kid, she is perfectly alive, but she's transgender, she's transitioned. And he's misinforming people because he's a right-wing fucking racist fascist cunt. All right, I'm sorry.
He's funding Trump's campaign, by the way, so yeah, centrist.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking hate people like him. All right, check this out. We can't get copyrighted on national anthems, can we?
No.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
I love the piss take.
The shoe zone one was particularly devastating because it did about 20 quid's worth of damage there. Thanks, Herbie. So now we're centrists. So now I have to go wash myself in the tears of Lenin. I'm a socialist. Thank you.
By the way, I was muted. I was muted, but good one, Gigi. And I'm gonna let you in on a secret. In order to comment, I had to log in using YouTube, and so that's my vegan channel. I am Herbie.
Oh, that's
Oh,
you.
lovely.
All right. Oh, great. You just said the centrist.
You
Thanks,
can
man.
call it.
Thanks.
You can call your vegan channel Herbie Rides Again. All right, there you go.
Oh, there you go. Well,
There you go.
Yeah.
well, bearing in mind, yes, there's a grift called claiming that you are a centrist, and there's a grift called why I left the left.
Yes.
And I've been thinking, if I ever went back to being a content provider as I was once, as Gaz may recall, back in the day, I was OG YouTube. I think I'd try a why I left the right grift and see if there's cash in that. It's like
I
I
don't think
used to.
so.
No,
Ah,
we're all broke, mate.
No, listen, mate. The whole piece of people where people go right wing is that there's so many stupid fucking cunts on that side who are willing to fucking be grifted upon and give up their money for shit that you can't even fathom. That's why people go to the right. That's why people like Dave Rubin and Candace Owens, they all and Jimmy Dore and all these fuckers, they all go right wing because it's easy to make money off stupid fucking cunts on that side of the political spectrum. And trust me, they're all stupid fucking cunts. All of
Yeah,
them.
I mean, like,
Uh,
look what's happened in the bloody. I know we're trying not to do what's with segues, but look what's happened in the bloody Olympics. We went to talking about maybe the Last Supper and
Yeah.
the opening ceremony to talking about a not trans female flaming boxer, and but that's been more talked about than the child rapist who
Yeah.
was the flaming Dutch volleyball player.
They're not
Yeah, they
bringing
don't
that.
care because half of their side are nonsense. So
Yeah, either
probably
white
more-
man as well. So as well,
Yeah.
but yeah, and they're
And
not
blonde.
bringing that person up whatsoever. Like it's amazing. Like I should have saved some clip, but the people on Fox News saying why the hell Kamala Harris not talking about the fucking transgendered fucking boxer who represents Algeria. And I'm thinking to myself, well, for a start, why the fuck would the American president give a shit about that? Secondly, between Algeria and fucking Italy. Secondly, the person's not fucking transgendered at all. Even Donald Trump brought up that this person was transgendered. Absolute fucking lie.
Because
And
they don't
but this
they
is what
don't
the right
bother
wing
with any
does.
evidence.
Yeah, it's what the right wing does.
And the IBA are like, yeah, but they were kicked out of this tournament. The IBA is run by a bunch of Russian religious fundamentalists. So, we're not exactly dealing with an organization that is trustworthy.
Okay, so check this out.
Why do you need to make it about skin color?
I'm not making it about skin color, but they're projecting the wrong image.
You rang up and said the reason you went on this protest is to protest against black people and Asians. All blacks and all Asians is what you said.
Well, 95% of them are problematic people.
How did you get to 95%, sir?
It's been proven statistics.
Where? Who? Show me. Tell me. You got in the car and you drove all those hours up to Middlesbrough to go and protest something that you can't evidence, for which there is no evidence to say they're 95% of the problem.
Well, this is what I've read.
Where?
On the internet, I've read it.
Do you take what you've read on the internet that 95% of black and Asian people are the problem? You take that as a fact?
Yeah.
Why do you need to make it about skin color?
I'm not making.
So Rick B, just to answer your earlier question, about how you should look at both sides. One of the reasons why I don't take right wing propaganda and news so seriously is because I'll end up like that fucking dickhead talking to this guy on LBC. So this is why I don't, because they're so easily duped, and it frightens me because I usually can smell bullshit a mile off, or I know when something's off. But it's amazing how people can be turned on a fucking dime and maybe change their whole preferences in life because they are so easily swayed by propaganda. And it scares me because there are people on my side of the political spectrum who I knew started becoming a little bit off, and I stopped fucking caring about them because I knew within myself they were wrong. People like Pat Condell and fucking Richard Dawkins, who I did initially listen to, but knew that they were going down the wrong path. And it's crazy how people are not skeptical enough to fall for fucking propaganda. It upsets me a lot. It really does.
Because they need bite-sized propaganda. They don't understand bigger picture. So they need the bite size of pedophilia, fucking pizzerias, and all this kind of stupid crap. Or that all Muslims are taking your women. You know.
Oh, okay. I think this is this one. By the way, this is I'm not sure if this guy is part of the alt-right or not, but this has happened in Manchester, and this is interesting. I think you might find it interesting.
This is the moment a depraved rapist who filmed attacks on sex workers was arrested. Nicholas Moxham now faces jail after being found guilty of dozens of intrusive and heinous crimes against women. He was arrested following a raid on his home in Longsight, Manchester, in August 2021. When officers stormed the property, they discovered a pale and malnourished woman under a duvet on his living room floor. Hard drives, storage devices, and spy hole cameras were also recovered. A court heard how Moxham, 54, had raped and sexually assaulted women on several occasions, sometimes while they were unconscious. Following a 5-week trial at Manchester's Minshull Street Crown Court, Moxham of Briarfield Road, Heaton Chapel, was found guilty of a total of 32 charges for a range of offences, including rape, prostitution, slavery, and sexual assault. Moxham will be sentenced in July.
So, well, I think I remember now why I saved this clip. I mean, obviously, it's worth people knowing about this fucker for a start. But also look at the comments. This guy called Rock says, Tommy Robinson, Kate Hopkins, come get your dad, fam. And Freddie the Fred said, well, where's Tommy Robinson now? And it's the truth. What this guy did was absolutely fucking heinous. But are we going to judge all white people, all white Christian males, if he is a Christian or Catholic, whatever, because of the acts of this one fucking dickhead? Of course not. Because generalization is fucking stupid.
Yeah.
And this person is not a representation of an entire fucking group. I wish the fucking opposition, like the fucking alt-right, would realize that about other fucking demographics, but they're too stupid. They're too fucking stupid. But yeah, what a terrible thing. Okay. Not all. But okay, this is a sad clip. It's a couple of minutes long. But it just this is the aftermath of rioting on the streets. You know, and this is a street, by the way, where all types of people live on this street, not just Muslims. You know, every demographic.
What's your thoughts on today? You're not saying nothing. I know what I would like to say. Looks bad, my friend.
I know.
All the windows are smashed on the vehicle.
Why?
Tenants are just
fucking brain dead idiots. Gonna cost them $1,000 just to replace one of those windows.
Yeah, I'm just doing a little video to show what's going on. What's your thoughts on it today? How were you feeling when everything was going on?
All right, Rick, bye-bye.
Basically, I've been here close to 50 years, and it's the first time I actually see what's going on, and it's unbelievable.
Show me some of the damage here. You've got cars here that have been damaged.
Goodness me.
Look at the mindless vandalism here.
Some of the cars have been removed.
You put them in the back alley. We'll go and have a look down there. Mirrors broken. Every single one in this street they've done. This lady's traumatized from the events today. What's your message to the people that done this?
Yeah.
Does she look like a Muslim to you, or these people?
I know you're not feeling up to it, but
Their lives ruined.
Yeah. You know, it's not like people have money to fucking spend on bloody.
Yeah.
You know, one of those windows is not bloody cheap.
Yeah, exactly.
People assessing the damage and trying to figure out what they're going to do to keep their property safe overnight. It's terrible, honestly. I'll show you the cars that were broken here. So obviously, the residents in this back alley, but you can see every single vehicle that was out there. Every single vehicle.
What's this Garbo now? I want to fucking explain this.
Windows broken. Taxis.
Fuck you know.
Honestly, he was sick and looking at this. What's your thoughts on today?
Okay. So these feral Tommy Robinson and Kate Hopkins supporters need to be kept on a leash. You shame this country, you disgraceful thugs. One guy also wrote, when the Muslims take over the street for prayers or protest shouting Allahu Akbar, they create fear in society. This is a result of that. Everyone, what are they talking about?
What are you on about?
Bollocks is what we're talking about. Right. So you just saw there that it was mostly there's some people who aren't white, but most of that street is white, and it has their flaming cars being destroyed. It has flaming probably thousands of pounds of like damage to their houses and windows and God knows what else that they've got to try and afford during a flaming cost of living crisis.
Exactly.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's check this one out. Another LBC caller.
I'm trying to protect England.
From who?
From the invasion of illegal migrants.
Are some of your mates Asian or black?
No.
Not surprising.
And when you come into contact with various services, the NHS or your dentist or your doctor or whoever, or the person serving you at the till in the shop, and they're not white, do you think they are lawless as others are?
I don't know what they're doing.
But they're not, are they? I mean, there they are holding down a job. In some cases, there they are attempting to save your life in parts of the NHS. God forbid something awful were to happen to you. You might have a black doctor, a black woman, black man trying to save your life. Would you worry about that?
No.
As I say, I don't think Gary's born a racist. I don't think anybody's born racist. But man alive, the descent into it is a hell of a journey, isn't it?
I'm trying.
I mean, this guy's slow as fuck as well because he's getting asked questions and he's really having to think about it. He probably never had to think about it before, and now he's having to think about it. And yeah, it's a shame, really. He's gone down that fucking rabbit hole.
That's the difference, you see. When you spew your rhetoric in an echo chamber that is completely baseless and are finally challenged on it, you don't have to respond because you're so used to like your echo chamber and getting the answers that you like, and that when somebody claps back at you, your brain malfunctions because you're like, what? And then he'll go off and then play the victim and then just still spew the same rhetoric because they haven't learned anything. They just want their echo chamber of hatred.
Here we go. Britain's finest right here. Check this out.
Any guesses on what this man has been arrested for? That's right, he is allegedly one of the instigators of the riots going on in England at the moment. I mean, would you have guessed? Like, would you have been able to tell? I mean, the tattoos are 10 out of 10. Got the big oi across the neck, across the Adam's apple, followed up by England in big letters, right above a flag that is not the England flag. He's got the Union Jack. Interesting choice, but okay. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is also a Viking.
That's low-key. That's
Not
low-key.
hugely English, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I stand corrected. Best bit, though, he was arrested at the Cooper Rose pub in Sunderland. Okay? It's a bloody Weatherspoon. Yeah, what a shocker. The man who instigated these riots was arrested at 10:30 in the morning in a Wetherspoons. You just can't write it. If you can think of anything more stereotypical than that, then please let me know.
Yeah, he is. You know, this is our fucking version of the shaman. Or what was he called? The something shaman.
Yeah, the shaman.
The QAnon shaman.
The QAnon, yeah. Like that's probably. I mean, talk about making yourself stand out. I mean, yeah, this guy's a sad cunt. And
wait, are you telling me he's not a lawyer or a doctor? I'm shocked.
Yeah, me too.
I'm actually shocked. Let me see if there's any updates on the protests and violence.
Well, as I said, they shut down my precinct near me. So
yeah, writers hold bricks. Plymouth. So Plymouth has just had a fucking lovely day of violence. Yeah, okay, and the rest is still the usual.
Got some Nigel Farage action in here. Check it out.
Yeah.
The QAnon shaman. Thank you very much, Rowan. About time fucking this dickhead gets called out.
You don't think the working class. You want to privatise the NHS. You want to victimise the poor. You have nothing to offer.
Beautiful. Magic.
Sorry, boy. You might drink beer, but that don't make you working class. Bye-bye, Nigel. The working class are coming for you. We dealt with the Tories.
It's getting boring. It's just entertainment for him.
Does he not take accountability?
He doesn't care.
That's a clip done. But you know, like I said, he is full-on exhibitionist. He doesn't give a shit about doing the actual work that's required. You know, he'll happily shift the goalposts and blame other people when shit hits the fucking fan. Create a new fucking party and the next it'll be like the Brexit party or whatever the fuck it'll be called. Start all over again. Start campaigning and just fucking showing off. And the moment he gets back to work, he'll fucking fuck off to America and fucking stick his nose up fucking Donald Trump's ass.
Yeah, like Liz Truss did. As soon as she fucked up over here, she just buggered off to America and started making money, giving brain dead speeches and holding no accountability for literally destroying the economy even more than what it was already destroyed. So,
Now, by the way,
yeah, go on, Zach.
No, please, we can finish off your monologue.
Oh no, I'm just saying, just like these people just never take responsibility for the destruction they cause. That's all.
Now we need to know. By the way, this feels like the purge, and we need to know where the fuck you can get this glass from because I want this glass.
Someone just threw a fucking thing at them and they ran off. Dickheads.
I'm trying to look where that is. Because that's in Manchester. It is going by the looks of it. It looks like
some pillars in the background, some steps.
Yeah, that looks like the Ideal Centre, or maybe a little bit outside of it, Market Street.
This store is some sort of like electrical store for maybe phones and shit like that.
It's probably
dying
on
to
the
break in it.
It's probably
dying to break into this place. This place would have fucking been the monologue for them. And the person just filming it inside, how terrifying that must be, knowing that the only thing between you and them is this fucking pane of glass, and this fucking glass held, actually fucking held. Props to the fucking makers. Yeah. So, by the way, Alex, if you are saying something, you're on mute.
Hello.
Hello there.
Does it show up that I'm
No,
apparently
but
talking?
No, but I thought you might have
Sorry, I can't hear.
Look at these fuckers. Now, there are some opportunists here, but even the ones who were protesting, they become opportunists themselves.
Yeah, of course. Oh, why am I hearing echo from somewhere? Let me move this down here.
Kids about, bro. It's kids who's doing that as well. Kids fucking much out running there.
No, I get that. The only reason I came out of that shop is because she was like, "Where's my grandkids?" You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's like when there's kids involved, bro. Like there's that, and then there's just when there's kids about.
Sorry, let's read some comments here. A protest that took them to JD Sports. Blaming Muslims, then looting shops for free items makes sense. No right from the Fugman Lucy Letby, they mentioned at the beginning, with 8 innocent babies. You're telling me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And by the way, I showed this clip to you. This is in Ginger Greek's area of Enfield. They're like the modern day version of Guardian Angels. These are street fathers, and they are prepared to take care of their community from fucking racist right-wing cunts. These people of immigrant stock, I may add.
But yeah, these guys have fully kitted out.
Look at them, man. They got fucking muscles upon muscles as well. Like,
Fathers outside.
They're ready.
They're wearing bloody technical vests. The famous. Jesus Christ.
I don't know why there's an echo coming from your browser.
Or is it?
Yeah, the echoes are coming from your browser. So these are Street Fathers. I've met them before at events, and this is nothing to do with them coming out getting ready for the right wing racist thugs. They're actually tackling gang violence within their own community, and they're trying to be role models for black youths and try and help them. And because obviously, you know, poverty is so rife in Enfield, and gang violence and knife crime is very high here, and that's what these guys do. They kind of try and help those in need. They're fantastic, absolute great bunch of lads.
So I mentioned this earlier regarding Middlesbrough. Check this out.
This is an ethnic checkpoint behind me where racist thugs, like, I don't know what city, and yes, you are thugs. They are apparently, it's been reported, they're looking into cars, checking the ethnicity of the driver, whoever's inside, and then letting them pass whoever they see fit. This is, have you taken a page out of the IDF's book in the West Bank? I mean, what has Britain got to? This is an ethnic checkpoint behind me.
Yeah, you're telling me, mate. You're telling me. It's become a scary place when people are wondering. All right, you know, like it reminds me of that meme from Family Guy where the guy puts a card up against Thingy's face, and you decide whether he's okay, lone wolf or terrorist or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what we got here?
Exactly. It's ridiculous. Like, you're setting up checkpoints. Those Street Fathers look like the UK Black Panthers. Sort of, yeah. I mean, yeah, they're just doing what they can to kind of stop youth from, basically murdering each other.
And the final clip, because sometimes, unfortunately, you can be a target simply because you tick boxes that these motherfuckers really want to go after. You could be black, but you could be somebody who might look like they could take care of themselves, or you could be black and you might look like you're LGBTQ, like this guy might be. And if that's the case, I really feel sorry for him, regardless.
My fellow people of color actually stay safe. Like, I've had to go into my garden to speak about this because my mom doesn't know I was in town today, but I was literally in town today, and tell me why we got chased by these racist people. It's no joke. McCants, like, please get me out of this place, because why did I literally have to run down flights of steps? Imagine it was groups of 5 steps. I ran down all 5 at once because this guy was literally chasing us, trying to grab my friends as well. It's fucking terrifying world we live in. Stay home if you're a person of color. My fellow people of color,
especially if you're a person of color who's actually LGBTQ. And don't get me wrong, I'm picking on a few things, which is why I think he is. Not only his dress sense, the earrings, the nose ring, the painted fingernails, the sort of like campiness he has a little bit to a degree. I think he might be gay or he might swing both ways. But regardless, those things are irrelevant to who he is as a person. What's relevant is that, unfortunately, if the far right sees somebody like him, they'll have a field day with him and possibly kill him.
No, for sure. Yeah. I love Sorry, Sam. I love that first comment there. It goes, never use patois slang while you look as zesty as that.
Oh, sorry. I missed. Sorry.
That's okay. It was just a top comment on the thing.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So, that's basically that's my clips of stupid English cunts in this country taking us back. I do remember, by the way, about 10, 12 years ago, there were some riots happening in the streets because the police had killed some young black kid.
Yeah, Mark Douglas.
And it was the teenagers who were causing a lot of this shit. And back then, even the fucking people were calling the military and stuff to deal with it. Luckily, all of that shit died down. But now it's a different demographic of people. Like they don't see the hypocrisy of their own actions. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, but even back then, the riots, the Tottenham riots, were fucking stupid.
Yeah,
because these idiots, they think, oh, black man killed by police, oh, unjust racism, let's riot. I was like, this guy fucking terrorized, his gang terrorized Tottenham, Walthamstow, Leighton, fucking Enfield, Hackney, all these areas. Okay, he was human garbage, the repercussions of which years after his death, I remember, not in my family, but me and the girl's mother, we baptized the same kid. Her daughter was gunned down in Tottenham. Okay, they were after somebody else, but she was the one that was shot and killed, and she had fuck all to do with it. She was a wonderful girl. She was only 17 years old, training to be a nurse, and she was gunned down. As the repercussions of Duggan's legacy, it's still being felt in my area. And that's why I had no respect for the people that rioted back then. And this is the same kind of shit. You know what I mean? There's just no place for it. It's misplaced.
Yeah, but they were no different to a lot of these dickheads today. They were opportunists.
Agreed.
Looking smashing up shops and stuff like that. They were exactly. The message was lost, and they just wanted to cause anarchy.
Yeah, that's it.
So,
but the reaction from the press when that happened, they didn't hold back at all. Whereas here, like I said before, they're using very soft language. So, that's the contrast.
And it's not just that as well. Not just that as well. Like I've been watching a lot of these clips also on YouTube as well, and it is amazing that how you have so much footage and evidence of all this right wing fucking hooliganism basically that's happening across the country, and yet people are mentioning or commenting saying, the media is trying to change the narrative or they're being biased and stuff like that, just totally ignoring what's happening in front of their fucking eyes when they're seeing all of these cunts causing all of this trouble and not want to assess it or explain it in a way that makes sense, just by basically saying it's propaganda and the media are telling lies or whatever it may be. It's ridiculous. They don't want to. They don't want to take responsibility for what their side is doing.
Yeah, the right wing. If there's one thing that's consistent about the right wing, is never taking responsibility for their action, never apologizing for their action, deflecting and gaslighting critics. They never, ever, ever once have I seen a right winger come out and say, yes, I'm sorry, my rhetoric was violent and it's caused this to happen, or what I said was out of line. Only if it's going to affect their profits, only if it's going to affect their image, in a sense of like they said something that pissed off centrists, because if they piss off the left, they don't give a shit. But if they piss off the centrists, then they're going to be like, oh, better just throw them some bland apology and then I can go back to doing what I do, kind of thing. But they never accept responsibility for their actions. It doesn't register to them because they are narcissists, and narcissists don't see any fault in what they're doing. They think, one, it's normal. Two, it doesn't register at all. They will say things and they not even remember what they said. And when you call them back on it, they're like, I never said that. You're lying. Do this. And then when you show them the evidence, they just gaslight you. They attack you because that's what a narcissist does. And unfortunately, we are run and governed by complete narcissistic sociopaths. And that's why I said there should be personality, psychological evaluations before you can become an MP or work somewhere where you are needed for the greater good of the public service. Because you cannot it's like setting loose a schizophrenic to be a cop. You know what I mean? You just can't do that kind of shit. And it's the same for MPs. Like, if you want to be a sociopath and a narcissist, go do business. That's where you belong.
Yeah. By the way, Rowan, I know you're on Ginger Greek channel, but if you ever want to catch us, we're on this channel.
I think he's subscribed to both now.
Fair enough.
I think he is, because he switched over to NerdTube to speak to Rick. And on that note, guys, I think I'm going to call it there. What do you guys reckon?
Yeah, we're done. We're done.
Okay.
Right. Okay, thank you, Rowan.
All right. Okay, well, that's it, everyone. I want to thank everyone for joining us on this impromptu UK's Gone Insane rather than the world's gone insane. And thank you to everyone that joined us, all my lovely co-hosts. And on that note, we might see you Friday. We'll see how it goes. Have a lovely night. Bye.